Tu veux boire un café? T'as besoin d'un café? Non, je te remercie. T'as fini ta courrier? Non, justement, mais je vais attendre à la maison, c'est pour ça que je m'attends. Je peux vous parler?
So, okay, you guys. So, today, what did I see this morning? This morning, I saw on NBC News that King Charles, and it's an old article, but I happened to see it this morning. I don't know where I was on July 24th when this article was written, but it's written by Chantal de Silva, and they were talking about the fact that King Charles will get a $60 million pay raise going forward, right? As the UK, citizens of the UK grapple with the cost of living crisis. And it says here that the sovereign grant, which is the mechanism used to fund royal spending, spending for things like appearances by members of the royal family and their houses and their staff and things like that, will rise from over 86 million pounds. It's already 86 million pounds, which is $110 million a year. A year, you guys. A year, you guys. This is not a 10-year earmark. This is $110 million a year. It's going to rise from that to around 132 million pounds, you guys, which is $170 million as of next year. And this is because of a surge in profits from the Crown Estate, according to the article, which comprises a vast collection of land and property across the UK. Well, I can tell you this much, what I know exactly what I'll do the minute I win lotto is I'm investing in land and property, right? Because if you think about it, it really holds its value. And according to this article, that's where the crown, the king, the monarchy, the royal family, that's where they're getting their money, the profits. They're land rich and they're also cash rich because they invest, they have a lot of investment property and rental properties that actually bring in money. So if you ever win lotto, that's the way to go. Forget stocks and bonds. The stock market crashes all the time. Forget all this nonsense about IRAs and certificates of deposits. And dear God help you, do not put your money on any bank talking about you're, hoarding money on banks because it's not insured. And those SOBs, they crash like, I don't even want to say the word. I don't even want to say it, right? So if you get rich, you follow the Windsors and you follow King Charles and you invest in land and property. That all said, I digress. I don't know what's on my mind. Can you believe this absurdity? Not absurdity. It's an absurdity that these people are going to be making $132 million. Million pounds, which is $170 million a year. King Charles and Camilla, Kate and William, are you serious? Because they are really the royal family. Because remember how they're getting rid of Andrew because he's a liability. They are, Beatrice and all the rest of them are not, they're not funded. And Anne may get a little stipend here or there, but in the bulk of this, $170 million, is going to King Charles and Camilla and to William and Kate. And that's not all they have, because that's just a sovereign grant, right? They also have a lot of duchies, like the Duchy of Lancaster and the Duchy of Cornwall, which William owns, which is $1 billion net worth, I should say. Okay, is $1 billion just for the Duchy of Cornwall. So it says here, a separate report from the Crown Estate showed that it had generated profits, you guys, of 1.1 billion pounds or 1.4 billion of profits. This is not the, this is not the basic asset that they have. This is just the profits that the asset generates, right? So if you calculate the actual value of the asset itself that's generating profits of $1.1 billion, I think you'll have a stroke. I think you'll have a stroke of how rich these people are, you guys. It's absurd. It says here, the king also installed solar panels at Windsor Castle and increased the use of sustainable aviation fuel for royal flights. The royal household will take delivery of 2 new helicopters in the coming year to replace aging aircraft, it says here. It said, noting that their use was a key component of delivering engagements by His Majesty as head of nation and other members of the royal family. Now, when was the last time, you guys, you saw any member of the royal family doing or delivering any royal engagements, except insofar as it was announced that they're all on summer holiday at Balmoral? It's August, right? So for the entire year so far, William went to a couple of pubs. He did go to that kitchen that one time and he stirred a pot, right? This is a royal engagement. This is work. But otherwise, he went to a ball game with his son George, and his wife Kate has been, quote unquote, battling cancer. And don't choke as you cough when I say that, but she's battling cancer and has been battling cancer. You know what I think? You know what I realize is that, remember when William and Kate moved from Kensington Palace very bizarrely, like as soon as Harry and Meghan went to Montecito in 2020, shortly thereafter, it was announced that William and Kate would be moving from Kensington Palace to the country, right? I forgot what they call their country house. I have very bad short-term memory. But they're somewhere out in the country, maybe in Norfolk or wherever, where, all this nonsense with William and some other woman was being talked about. I have no idea whether any of that is true or false. So, don't, point fingers at me. I didn't say he was having an affair. I'm just saying that people have been saying that, and I don't know whether this is true or false, but they're out there, out in the country. They moved from Kensington Palace. Who moves from a palace? You guys, who decamps from a palace? to go live in a 4-bedroom house in the country, Adelaide Cottage or whatever, right? Without help. Apparently, they had no live-in help at this place in the country, whereas at Kensington Palace, they had all this help, right? And they only decamped from there after Harry and Meghan left. This is a really beautiful museum, isn't it? Look at this. Just the architecture, the ceilings. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I love this place. But I digress. They only left Kensington Palace after Harry and Meghan moved to Montecito. Remember that, you guys. So it's been about 4 years. Who does that? Who does that, right? Isn't that the dream of everybody, to go live in a palace? And they're leaving the palace to go live in a 4-bedroom house where there is no live-in help. By the way, did you hear that this money that they're getting, this pay raise, is to pay for their helpers, right? But they moved and they don't even have helpers. But the point I'm getting at with that, though, you guys, is the fact that I think that move from Kensington Palace was the start of the quiet quitting that William and Kate pulled off when they announced that January, as soon as January 2024 rolled around, they announced that Kate had some kind of procedure in the hospital. And then there were all these weird behaviors and fake photos and all kinds of innuendos and mysteries and bizarreness. And then they strung us and created this global intrigue as to what the bleep is going on, right? And then finally she came out in this striped sweater and she said to us that she was that cancer had been found. The president thought that there's no longer any cancer, and so she got preventative chemotherapy. And since that time, you guys, the only time we've seen her is at Wimbledon and again at Trooping the Color, two times per year. Okay, and I think she did something recently in Balmoral and somewhere up there. And William, on the other hand, we've seen him at a ball game with George. We saw him at a couple of pubs. Is it slash or splash? How do you say when someone has a lot to drink? I have no idea. Okay, but it can be slash or splash, whatever it is. Or slosh, I don't even know at this point. It doesn't even matter. Who cares? So he got whatever he got at the party, right? At one point, there was even some photos and videos. I don't know if these were AI generated of him swaying in public at like some kind of a award or a ceremony. He's swaying in public. People thought he was actually drunk. So anyway, since all of that, that's all we got of these people for a year, 2024, right? And they're talking to us about a $170 million pay raise. King Charles, on the other hand, okay, he had some issue with his cancer. He had a couple of garden parties. He went to church a couple of times. They're talking to us about a $170 million per annum pay raise. It's raining. And let me stop here for a second. Let me just let you enjoy it.
Staat erbij raar dat er geen buien zijn. Ja. Soms ook weer voorbij. Heb je net zo'n leuke busrit in zo'n dubbeldekker geboekt en je moet dan naar beneden.
So yeah, I mean, so you know, he got $170 million pay raise, and I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, what did he get that for? Like, what? Like, what? Are you serious? Are you kidding? It's absurd. The whole thing is absurd. Do you agree with me that this is completely absurd? At a minimum, it's outrageous when you consider that the cost of living crisis that so many people are living under, and what these people actually do for that money, right? Anyway, that's it for this one. See you in the next one. Bye.